Bishop Chronicles podcast. Hey guys, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart, man, for being a great supporter of our show. Man, I've heard your comments, man. I've seen your text messages, and you guys are just so inspirational. But now I want to reach out to all the businesses that have been hitting me up. Listen, we have a sponsorship program for you. For as little as $30 a week, listen, we will give you a spotlight. We will make sure that you can come on the show and showcase your product. We want to help you grow. We want to help you get to the next level. So we want to make sure that we provide programs and packages that not only are economical, but they also allow our show and your business to build a relationship and also be able to go to the next level together. So listen, continue to support the show, continue to send your comments, continue to uplift Christ wherever you go. Make sure you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel, and please make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook. But more than anything, if you are a business and you have a project, if you are a music entrepreneur, if you are an artist and you have an event or you have a project that you're getting ready to do, if you are a ministry and you have an event that you're getting ready to showcase, listen, we want to help you. We want to build you up and we want to grow with you. Let us work for you, okay? But once again, we thank you. We love you. And on behalf of Bishop Chronicles Podcast, listen, God bless you. And listen, we look forward to working with you guys. I'm out of here, guys. What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Holly Mays on this edition of Daily Manna. I am excited to be on this show today, y'all. Listen, we got a great show for you guys, man. Listen, do me a favor, man. I'm just trying some new audio equipment. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, okay? Or just say, hey, Dr. Mays, we can hear you. Just trying to try out some new equipment. Already. I see some folks saying they can hear me. Okay, great. Listen, I am excited, man, to be on this show today, man. We have a great show for you today. I'm excited, man. I hope you guys enjoyed last week when we were talking about mentality misunderstood. We were really talking about church and state and the psychosis or the mindset in which they have operated in this pandemic. And I had Dr. Terrence Haynes, who is, among other things, he deals with the mind. He deals with psychosis of the mind, psychology of the mind. And we kind of just explored some things a little bit because I truly wanted to understand what was going on in the government's mind or in the church or a pastor's mind when they say, hey, listen, we're going to bring everybody back into the church house and we're going to do this and we're going to have like church as usual. So listen, guys, go back, check that out. Listen, as always, man, y'all make sure that y'all follow us on all the social media sites. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. And please make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, Bishop Chronicles Podcast. Okay, I'm telling you, we got a lot of great episodes, man. If you haven't caught all the episodes, go back, use this time in the pandemic, man, and sit down and really catch up on these episodes, all right? You know how y'all used to do, like, regular shows and everything. Catch up on these episodes. So listen, guys, we got a great show for you today, okay? Today we're going to talk about, does where you grew up affect where you end up? Does where you grew up or do where you grew up affect where you end up. Man, listen, I want to talk about this for a second, and we're going to be with you guys for about 30 minutes today, man, so put your seatbelts on. Listen, I love you guys' comments, so please make sure that you're sending all your comments, questions, to our Facebook Live page, okay? We want to be interactive with you. So please make sure that you are doing that if you don't mind. Also, make sure you share this. Invite. Okay, I promise you, it is going to be a show for the ages. So let's talk about this for a second. Does where you grew up affect where you end up? Now, the stigma is okay. The stigma, which means the hearsay, what people are saying is that if you grew up in a rough area, that may put you in a lineup or put you in a process of actually being in going to jail, putting you down that path, or dying or selling drugs or this, that, and the other. But I want to argue that point today, and I'm gonna tell you why I want to argue that point today. I want to argue that point today because guess what? I've talked to some athletes that have actually kind of changed that whole thing. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Because of where they grew up, I don't know if you guys ever listened to LeBron James' story, but he came from a single parent household. You know, he stayed in a rough area, and that actually motivated him. Okay, now I understand how it used to be, but nowadays we got to be honest. These kids are being motivated by the smallest of things. They're being motivated by something as small as the fact that, hey, my mama had to struggle. So does where you grew up affect where you end up? A little bit, but I don't think it's as much negative as they say as they think. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more positive because now a person is saying, listen, I don't want to be there anymore. I don't want to grow up that way. I don't want to, stay in the hood no more. And I'm not knocking the hood. I'm not knocking where a person come from. But let's be honest. If you still are saying, hey, listen, I'm in the hood every day, you crazy. If you are telling me, I hear rappers all the time say, hey, listen, I'm in these streets all the time. Boy, you sound crazy. You sound crazy. You're trying to keep up with a genre that don't even care that much about you. And you sitting up and saying, I'm in these streets, I'm in the hood every day. And you're challenging other people because they not still in the hood. They not still doing things that they used to do back before they got money or whatever the case may be. Because we feel like, hey, we owe being in the hood something. We owe staying in poverty or staying connected to a low situation or a low mindset or a low self-esteem. We act like we owe this part of town this. If I'm from Bonton or I'm from Dixon, hey, I got to still be hanging out there, even though, I got a $500,000 house, I got 2 or 3 businesses, I got kids, I got a wife. We still feel like, oh, well I got to stay there because I don't want my street cred to be put on the line by somebody saying, oh, well, you done got bougie, you done got stuck up. You darn right I done got bougie. What is you talking about? I lived in the projects all my life. And watch this. You mean to tell me when I got some money, y'all mad at me because my low situation and what I saw my mom and dad go through is what got me determined enough or motivated enough to say, I'm not going to put my kids through this. So in that instance, absolutely, I believe that where you come from or how you grew up does make a difference in where you end up. If you grew up in a household that had domestic violence, and you didn't like, this is why I don't understand certain things, and I know some people are gonna get mad at me on this, but this is why I don't understand certain things. If I saw my daddy beat up on my mama and I didn't like it, or I said, oh, you know what, this is wrong, why in the world would I develop a psychosis or a nature or characteristic of hitting on women when I know when my daddy did it, I didn't like it. That's why it confuses me when a person say, well, I grew up in domestic violence. Wait, that don't make no sense to me psychologically. And you can't think it's right because if you didn't like it when your mama was getting it done, how do you like it when you hitting on your woman? So that mindset confuses me. But where you grew up does not always determine where you end up. Just because you grew up in the ghetto don't mean you're going to end up in the ghetto. Okay? Just because you grew up in a wealthy household don't mean you're going to end up in a wealthy household. It doesn't. I've seen too many times, and a lot of times, here's the thing: a lot of times we allow society to dictate where we go based on where we've been, and we don't want to write our own story. And we get confused and we say, well, you know what? I was molested as a child, so that causes me to live a lifestyle, even though I know it's wrong and I don't agree with it and I don't like it or it don't make me feel good. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the mind mess up with me. You know, hey, I grew up in the ghetto, so I'm loyal to the ghetto. How is that? Can somebody talk to me on that? Can somebody please, answer me on that? How is it that I grew up in the hood, but I'm rich now, but I owe a loyalty to Martin Luther King Boulevard? No, I don't. I don't have no business on Martin Luther King Boulevard. No disrespect. I don't know nobody. I don't go to no restaurants. I don't do none of that unless I go to Elaine's or something like that. But I'm not going there to chill out. I don't hang with none of my friends in South Dallas. No disrespect to them. But that's not an environment. I stay in the suburbs. Okay? I grew up in the hood. I like the suburbs better than I like the hood. So why would I go visit the hood just to be hanging out on a corner, drinking or smoking a cigarette or what? Which I don't even smoke. But I don't understand that. Let me see what my wife has said. My wife said there's no determinate factor, but statistically, when you grow up, where you grow up is relevant in increasing the risks that you may have that are associated to the hood life, which can involve that life and mentality. People can do whatever if they choose to do. It's all about perspective and aptitude when a person is faced with certain circumstances. Just because daddy was selling drugs and hitting their wife doesn't mean that you will or predict that you will. It is a red or blue pill. I completely agree. Just because I come from the hood does not mean I should stand there. No, I completely agree. I don't believe that, just because I'm from the hood and my daddy was a dope dealer, all of a sudden, because they done get, like, I'll give you an example. My dad's name was Foot, okay? And I'm not going to tell y'all why they call him Foot, but those that know my daddy know why they call him Foot. He probably put his foot square up in your you-know-what. That's my daddy, okay? He was a big, big guy. Very, very feared guy. But watch this, though. Just because you called me Littlefoot and I'm his son don't mean I need to be going around, you know, talking crazy to folks or beating up people or threatening people. That don't mean that's the lifestyle that I have to live because I'm trying to keep up appearances or that's the way I grew up. Just like somebody gonna get mad at me on this, but just because my grandmama went to church, my mama went to church, my daddy went to church, I may not grow up going to church like that. How you grew up does not mean that's how you gonna end up. Where you grew up at don't mean that. And a lot of times we need to quit telling our children that, hey, listen, you need to stay loyal or don't forget where you come from. Absolutely. I'm gonna forget where I come from. But not in the sense that other people are looking at. I'm not going to forget where I come from as to saying I'm going to talk mess about you or think that you're in a low, think or judge you. But yes, I want to forget all those bad things because I want to write a new chapter in my life. The reason why a lot of people can't write new chapters because you're too busy dealing with the old book. That's why you can't write a new chapter. That's why you can't write a new page because you can't get no new dates. You can't sit up here and you can't get no new jobs. You can't get because you still stuck in the old way of life. You still on that old book. Let me see what Miss Bolden said. They say everything is patterned after its own kind, but I don't agree with that. Things and people are subject to change. Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Listen, my mother, rest her soul, and everybody know me and my mama. I love my baby. I love Patricia Geraldine Martin. But let me tell you something. My mother was an alcoholic. Okay? She was. Now, she got past it. God blessed her. All right? And God showed favor. All right? So I want y'all to understand that. But let me help you with something. My mother was an alcoholic. Okay? I don't drink that much. I think you may get one drink out of me. That's it. Okay? Real talk. All right? I don't smoke cigarettes. All right? And the only reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people will believe that, wait, hold on, because I grew up like this, because this is how, this is how my dad was, or how my mom was. Hey, this is the way I'm going to be. Y'all pause real quickly, guys. Y'all give me a second. I gotta go over here for station identification, and we gotta go ahead and get some things straight with our sponsors. But y'all hold on to me. I'll be with y'all in just a second. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dr. Holly Mays of Kingdom Faith Empowerment Center and also Bishop Chronicles Podcast. Hey, guys, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart, man, for being a great supporter of our show. Man, I've heard your comments, man. I've seen your text messages, and you guys are just so inspirational. But now I want to reach out to all the businesses that have been hitting me up. Listen, we have a sponsorship program for you. For as little as $30 a week, listen, we will give you a spotlight. We will make sure that you can come on the show and showcase your product. We want to help you grow. We want to help you get to the next level. So we want to make sure that we provide programs and packages that not only are economical, but they also allow our show and your business to build a relationship and also be able to go to the next level together. So listen, continue to support the show, continue to send your comments, continue to uplift Christ wherever you go. Make sure you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel, and please make sure you are following us on Instagram and Facebook. But more than anything, if you are a business and you have a project, if you are a music entrepreneur, if you are an artist and you have an event or you have a project that you're getting ready to do, if you are a ministry and you have an event that you're getting ready to showcase, listen, we want to help you. We want to build you up and we want to grow with you. Let us work for you, okay? But once again, we thank you. We love you. And on behalf of Bishop Chronicles Podcast, listen, God bless you. And listen, we look forward to working with you guys. I'm out of here, guys. And what's going on, everybody? We are back once again. For those that are just joining us, we are dealing with the topic, does where you grew up affect where you end up? Listen, I am telling you guys, man, real quickly, just want to give a shout out to some sponsors before I get out of here, before I start back. I want to give a shout out to the team of money coaches over there with Ebony Money Coach Thomas. Man, let me tell you something. If you have any need of life insurance, fixed annuities, property protection, you own a business and need mentorship, counseling in growing that business, these guys over at the team of money coaches will help you, man. I'm telling you, these guys are awesome. Also, man, I'd be remiss not to give a shout out to WPS Studios over at 900 East Beltline Road, DeSoto, Texas. Dr. Vernell Warren, man, this guy specializes in filming, photography, videography, and if you are a church and you need a place to worship, they even specialize in chapel services as well. Prestige Creations, they the one who are responsible for Appointed Apparel, shirt I'm wearing now, where perception becomes reality. Follow these guys on Facebook and Instagram at Prestige Creations, or you can just email them for prices at prestigecreations@gmail.com. JSE Productions, man, I'm so excited about these guys, man. They're responsible for all the intro and outro and the special videos you guys see. These guys, man, are awesome over there with Sophia Edwards. Get in touch with these guys at 214-916-8657, or you can just email them at jscproductions@gmail.com. And I would be remiss not to talk about my own company, Juice Fruits LLC. Listen, where you get juices made out of whole fruits. No added preservatives, none of that. So if you're looking to lose weight and you're really looking to change your lifestyle, get in touch with me at Dr. Holly Mays worldwide at gmail.com, and I will show you a juice that will change your life. All right, guys, let's get back into it, man. Once again, we are talking about, does where you grow up affect where you end up? Listen, I want to read this real quick because Miss Bolden actually put this on here, and man, I'm so excited to read this. She says, I took a leap of faith to relocate, and many didn't agree with my relocation, but there was an urgency for a new beginning in me, although I heard God say so, but others did not. this didn't change my mindset about the relocation. I made 5 trips here to Dallas before I was able to get a place to live. Let me tell you something, guys, real quickly. Okay? And I'm going to say this, and I hope it bless you. Okay? I really hope it bless you. If you go to the Old Testament for you Bible readers and you Bible lovers, okay, and you talk about and you look at the story of Abraham, what you will find out is Abraham was told to relocate, okay, from where he lived at based on his purpose. A lot of times, watch this now, a lot of times it's good for you to relocate out of the hood and go to another place because your purpose is to be activated in the new place, not the old place. And a lot of times folk will try to keep you stuck in the old place, watch this now, so you can continue to have conversations with old people. All right? You got to understand your purpose is not designed to operate in oldness. Because oldness, no disrespect, I want you to understand the grammar, the grammatical verbiage on this. The oldness will continue and produce lowness. I'm going to say it again. When you continue to operate in old stuff, sooner or later it will become low stuff, because so many things will get on top of it and become more significant and more apparent that the old stuff will become low because it's outdated. Some folks are outdated. Some locations are outdated. All right? Some mindsets are outdated. They're just outdated. It's not like they're no good. I'm not saying they're no good, but they're outdated. They have their place, but they have their place. Watch this now. Where do you put old books? You don't keep old books at the same place you keep your new books. You keep old books in a place that you could always go back to them and reference from, but you keep the new books handy where you can get to them more frequently and a little bit better. So sometimes it's better that I leave this old place. It's better that I don't stay in the hood. Y'all quit sitting up here telling folks, trying to challenge somebody's hoodness and challenge somebody's street credit by them being in the hood. More folks get killed trying to go back to the hood, proving that they still in the hood than anybody else in the suburbs. Nipsey Hussle, listen, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I didn't start listening to Nipsey Hussle till he died. I'm just going to be honest. Y'all can sit up here and say what you want to. I didn't start listening to Nipsey Hussle till he died. But one of the things I will say, when I started listening to him and I started listening to what he was saying, he truly tried to get out of the hood. But he kept going back to the hood to give back to the... Where did he die? He died in the hood. I'm not saying that to bring bad. That's not my thing. I'm not a negative guy. But I want you to understand, there are things waiting back for you in places that God tried to take you from. And they're waiting to kill you. The demons, the devils, the warlocks, the witches, the imps are still in that low place, that place of destitute, that poverty place, hoping that you will come up with a mindset and say, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to go back to the hood. Listen, let me be honest with you. None of my family members still stay in the hood. Real talk. I have none of my homeboys still stay in the hood. Real talk. So listen, I'm not knocking if you stay there. What I'm saying is your mission needs to be to go from bad or low to good and high. Because there's things in low places that are that manifest there and they stay there just to destroy folks that have aspirations and dreams to go to high places. I'm telling you the truth. And a lot of times we don't want to tell people I'm done, I'm leaving, because we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. We don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. And the problem is when you're trying to get better and you're trying to get more in your life, you shouldn't care about hurting nobody's feelings. As a matter of fact, if they really love you, they're going to tell you to leave. They're going to be over there to help you pack. That's why when Miss Bolden said, when she said Free is telling her to stay. Now, if you love me and you want the best for me, you'll say, girl, listen, you would have started packing for me even before I started packing for myself, because you know that lowness is not in my DNA. See, sometimes folk just got lowness in their DNA. Your mama had lowness, your daddy had lowness, and somebody told you that you got to follow in your daddy footsteps. You got to follow in your mama footsteps, and your mama didn't have aspirations of getting out of the hood. Your mama didn't have aspirations of owning land. Your mama didn't have aspirations of being an entrepreneur and making sure her children's college fund is paid for. They want you to stay in a destitute position. And it's not them, it's the enemy. It's the enemy trying to distort your purpose and the promises that God made since before you were in your mother's womb. That's the enemy infecting the people that are closest to you, that can put a bug in your ear that you listen to make you stay in a place that he can most likely kill you in. Real talk. Some folks will never get on your level. They will never be on your level. I don't care how many degrees they got. That don't mean you on my level. I don't care how much money. That don't mean you on my level. Some folks leave the hood but still got a hood mentality. You might as well go back to the hood. And I ain't talking about no hustle game. I ain't talking about the fact that you're a grinder or you're an entrepreneur. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you still act hoodish, you act low. You still talk hoodish, you talk low. You negative, you cursing, you have not extended or expanded or increased your verbal content. You still talking in a manner where business folk don't want to talk to you because you still sound like folk they trying to help. I'm just trying to be real with you. Does where you grow up affect where you end up? Some positive, some negative. It can affect some people because if you talk to an athlete, they'll say all I want to do was make it to the NBA because I got tired of my mama being in the hood. But you'll have some people say the reason why I beat my wife is because guess what? I grew up with my daddy beating his wife, which I think is a psychosis in the first place. I think that's a psychotic episode in the first place. I think that's a choice. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know my wife don't agree with me on that. That's fine. But I think depression, my wife will tell you, I don't get depressed. I don't get stressed out. I've learned to control my mindset so that my mind does not equal to the situation. I'm just being real with you. Sometimes we allow our mind to become parallel to the situation that we're dealing with. So now if I grew up in poverty, then guess what? I have to live in poverty. And if I have to live in poverty, I have to deal with poverty-stricken folks. And now that I'm dealing with poverty-stricken folks and I have a poverty-stricken mindset, when somebody come to me talking about increase, then I tell them, oh, wait, hold on, you trying to be bougie. I try to knock down and discourage because I want to stay connected to a place where I grew up at. And oftentimes, y'all hear what I'm saying, oftentimes where we grew up at, watch this now, is no more than a learning experience. It was meant to be a learning experience for you. Watch this now. I'm going to help you with something. Thank you, Holy Ghost. He just put this in my spirit. When you are growing up, have you noticed if you stay in the hood from the time you're born or grade school, 4 years old, preschool, whatever, to 18, you're in school, right? So if you're in school learning your 1, 2, 3s, ABCs, multiplication, division, whatever the case may be, if you're in school, what makes you think on an educational level you're not learning and also on a personal level you're not learning? So by the time you get to 18 and you have already went through a learning process, the things that you have seen and learned should dictate your next move. So if you say you grew up, I grew up with gunshots. I grew up with dope around me. I grew up with gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? My brother went to jail for shooting cops and armed robbery. Okay? I'm just being honest with you. So that's what I grew up around. All right? But when I got 18, out of all the things that I grew up around, out of all the things I saw my parents do, didn't do, mistakes they made, guess what I said to myself? I don't want to stay in this area. I want to write a new chapter. I kept the old book because it allows me to reference. But I wanted to write a new book and a new chapter. So I went to college. I went to the military, got my degrees. You understand what I'm saying? Made some mistakes along the way, but it wasn't because of my old chapter. It wasn't trying to still be connected to my old. The mistakes I made happened in my new chapter. So it wasn't nobody's fault but mine. I can't blame it on my mama. The reason why growing up should not affect where you're about to go and where you end up It's because when you do that, all you do is blame where you end up on the folks that you grew up with. Y'all know I'm not playing. Come on now. 90% of the times when people go into depression, they start blaming their mama. They start blaming, man, you're a grown man. You are a grown woman. How you gonna blame the fact that you don't take care of your kids, or you beat your wife on your parents or your daddy, and you are grown enough to know right and wrong, morals, ethics? That's why I don't buy that stuff. I'm just being honest with you. I don't buy it. I think it's a cop-out. I think it's an excuse. So yes, I do believe that where you grow up can affect where you end up, but it's up to you to determine whether that's going to affect you positively or negatively. Is it going to affect you to a point to where you don't want your kids to go through it? Or is it going to affect you to a point where you end up in jail and you end up blaming, you on CNN, or you having an interview talking about, oh, well, you know, my daddy was an alcoholic. And well, why you end up an alcoholic? If you didn't like your daddy being an alcoholic, how did you end up being an alcoholic? If you didn't like being molested, how do you end up molesting folk? I'm sorry. Hey, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or physiologist. I just need somebody to explain that to me. I don't understand. I'm being honest with you. I don't understand. And you know, I had a friend of mine. He said, well, hey, the only reason I'm homosexual is the way I grew up. That's how I grew up. My babysitter had sex with me. I was molested as a child. Well, did it feel good? Well, no, it didn't feel good. I hated it. So how do you like being in the same position, but you hated it then? I'm just saying. I don't understand the reasoning behind some of the things that we say when we end up somewhere, and then we base it on when we grew up. And I need somebody to help me with this, y'all, real quickly, because on the next show tomorrow, guys, I'm going to bring you guys some facts. Tomorrow, we're going to deal with statistics, okay? I'm going to bring y'all a whole bunch of statistics tomorrow, because somebody said, well, Holly, you know, man, you don't really know, man. You don't know what it's like, man. You might be right, bro. You might be right. I don't know what being molested. I don't know if I was molested or not. I can't even remember back that far. My wife will tell you, I got a problem remembering last week, so y'all forgive me. I don't know if I was molested or beat up. I know I was beat up a lot as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a sickly kid. But other than that, I don't know. But tomorrow, guys, I'm bringing you guys facts, okay? We're going to have statistics. We're going to be talking about statistics. Man, we're going to take this thing a whole nother direction. But I just wanted to give you guys an introduction, man, of what we're talking about. So I need you guys to hang with me tomorrow. I need you to roll with me. I need you to bring your friends on. I need you to share this thing, man. But before you do anything, man, I need you to be a supporter of this show. Do me a favor. Please, if this show has been a blessing to you, man, if we have helped you, if we have enlightened you, I encourage you to help us financially. We are trying to get a better studio, better lighting, all the things we need to bring more to you guys. So listen, I'm going to encourage you guys to please, if you can, I'm going to ask you to partner with us with a seed of $20, and you can send it to $Dr. Holly Mays. $, I'm going to put it in the comments right now. I want you to send it to $Dr. Holly Mays, okay? Your seeds, I'm telling you, help us get to the next level, man, and it helps us grow. But I'm gonna send it to you right now. It's gonna be Dr. Holly Mays. Y'all give me just a second. All right, this is my Cash App, y'all. So listen, I need you guys to help us out in the show by please sowing a seed to Dr. Holly Mays, $20. That's all we're asking. And listen, if you are a business, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a musician and you want us to highlight you on the show, man, we want to sponsor you. We want to work for you, but we want you to help us get to the next level. We're trying to make this a radio show, guys, so that we can turn this 1 hour, this 30 minutes to an hour, and then our actual podcast turn it from an hour to 2 hours, guys. So listen, we need your support. We love you. I love you with the love of the Lord. Do me a favor. Uplift Christ wherever you go. And remember to make the rest of your day the best of your day. Gotta love you guys. I'm out of here. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dr. Holly Mays with Kingdom Faith Empowerment Center and also Bishop Chronicles Podcast. Hey guys, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart, man, for being a great supporter of our show. Man, I've heard your comments, man. I've seen your text messages, and you guys are just so inspirational. But now I want to reach out to all the businesses that have been hitting me up. Listen, we have a sponsorship program for you. For as little as $30 a week, listen, we will give you a spotlight. We will make sure that you can come on the show and showcase your product. We want to help you grow. We want to help you get to the next level. So we want to make sure that we provide programs and packages that not only are economical, but they also allow our show and your business to build a relationship and also be able to go to the next level together. So listen, continue to support the show, continue to send your comments, continue to uplift Christ wherever you go. Make sure you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel, and please make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook. But more than anything, if you are a business and you have a project, if you are a music entrepreneur, if you are an artist and you have an event or you have a project that you're getting ready to do, if you are a ministry and you have an event that you're getting ready to showcase, listen, we want to help you. We want to build you up and we want to grow with you. Let us work for you, okay? But once again, we thank you. We love you. And on behalf of Bishop Chronicles Podcast, listen, God bless you. And listen, we look forward to working with you guys. I'm out of here, guys.